But it's not pretend spicy like the ones you buy at the store, it's actually spicy.
Oh, I'll bet. I'll bet.
Even better.
Yeah.
Did you get a call, me? Did you get a call?
Might be Griswold.
Medical one.
Griswold caller. Let's see.
Okay, you may go.
Okay. All right, I'm going to call to order this Town of Griswold Board of Selectmen regular meeting on May 26th, 2026 at 6 PM. Roll call, Tina Falk for Selectmen, Selectmen Wayne Malin and Matt Danieluk. Item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Moving on to number 3, approval of minutes. We have May 12th, 2026 regular meeting minutes, May 13th, 2026 special meeting minutes, and May 13th, 2026 special meeting minutes, and that was a 2:30 PM meeting.
We were all present for all 3 of those, right?
I believe so.
So, I'll motion to approve 3A, B, and C.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve meeting minutes A, B, and C. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 4, correspondence. We have a letter of resignation from Paul Bricky as tree warden effective July 1st, 2026. If you've had a chance to read that.
Yeah, read it.
Just noted as received,
Yeah.
and then we'll reappoint for July 1st.
I think we discussed this
Yeah.
last
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah, sorry to see that letter. I know
Yeah.
that on behalf of this board and also boards before us, he's been the tree warden for quite some time, and we do appreciate all of the hard work that he did. Item number 5, old business, a discussion and possible action on status of the skate park. As I said, we started mid-March, going down different times to the skate park. I have yet to see, and I know that you would hope that by the end of May, things would pick up. I did go by over the weekend, and there were events going on the baseball field. There were 0 people on the skate park, using the skate park. And I said that I would do some documentation. I have, so I think the board should discuss it. But what I'd like to say is that we have a walkthrough tomorrow down there to discuss the playground, and maybe at that time, we can have a conversation, and we did post the meeting, so we can have a conversation. We can take a look and maybe have a discussion, and Ryan will be there, Ryan Aubin. So maybe hold off until tomorrow to discuss.
That's fine by me, and I can Zoom in while you guys are there. I won't physically be there, but if you wanna, just call me.
So you're not gonna be at the 2:30 meeting?
No, I won't, but I can be there virtually.
Okay,
I let Lisa know that, actually, but
okay, all right.
but we can certainly have a discussion and make a decision on it tomorrow. I mean, the data is kind of the data at this point. I also have been making an earnest effort to go that direction as often as possible, and it seems like the use is limited to none at this point, so.
Okay,
Do we want a motion to table until tomorrow?
I'll make a motion to table this 5A to tomorrow.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table item 5A until tomorrow afternoon. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 6, new business, discussion and possible action on one tax refund for a total of $3,528.37 as presented by Leona Sharkey, tax collector.
I'll make a motion to accept the tax refunds for a total of $3,528.37.
Second.
As presented by the Sharkey tax collector.
Jump the gun. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on item 6A. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 6B, discussion and possible action on social media issues. Does anybody have anything?
I have none.
Okay, I do. I think going forward, and this, it pertains to all three of us, this has to do with the board. I think unless there is a conversation with the full board and there is a consensus on something, I think it would be most appropriate if we don't post, and that goes for all three of us, as a selectman. All right, if it's a personal view that's being expressed and it hasn't been, it's not the consensus of the board, I just think that it really should be posted as more on a personal level than on a selectman level. Does that make sense? Now I sound like Martin. Does that make sense?
I do love that line. It always makes sense.
So I don't know if you want to have discussion about it, if you feel differently, we can talk about it.
The only thing I can say is that being a selectman, it's hard to put anything personal out because you're always in that position for the town.
Yeah.
So I agree with you as far as that goes.
The only thing I would say is that while we decision make as a board, we are each individually elected and we each individually bring our own ideas. And so I think if it's a matter of something that is like an announcement selectman wise or something like that, of course, that makes a lot of sense. And I think that that's the stuff that we even direct more towards just going up on the Grizzled Town page.
Yeah, yeah. I just think that I feel personal viewpoints, because Wayne may see something one way, I may see something another way, but yet we've never discussed it as a board. And same here. So I just think it's most appropriate if we keep it on that level, so.
I think that probably warrants some follow-up conversation, but I hear what you're saying.
Okay. Wayne?
Yeah, I'm good with having another discussion on it
Okay. So you want to table it?
amongst ourselves. I think we need to have that discussion amongst ourselves.
Yeah, I think without getting into all the specifics, and we'd be here for an hour probably if we started having the actual conversation.
We could.
If
We
we
don't
were
wanna
doing
do
that. So I do think that should be tabled for its own discussion at another time. So I'll motion to table that particular
I'll second it.
conversation.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table 6B until another time that we can discuss. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 6C, discussion and possible action on a letter from the Public Health and Safety Committee regarding a Community Emergency Response Team CERT program. So, is there anybody here who would like to discuss that? Or explain to the board?
Well, I'm the chair of the Public Health and Safety. I was hoping that Dawn would be here to talk about it, but
Yeah, I thought she was coming.
yeah, we did have a discussion about a couple items. One was the Route 138 traffic light safety improvements. We talked about this before. I know Todd looked into it. I believe that's a DOT issue. Correct, Todd? All we can do is really just send a letter, I guess, to the DOT and recommend a change at that particular intersection.
Well, the letter that came just said Route 138 traffic light, didn't specify which one.
Well, we're talking about the one on the Annex Road up by Job Lot That one,
Yeah, so you could start at 201 and it could go all the way down to here, right?
right.
Okay.
Specifically, the lack of left turn signal, right? I think that's what you guys mentioned, and that certainly everybody in town that's
Now,
ever
you
tried
have
to.
something, did I hear
Yeah,
you
this is why
say?
I'm here to talk about.
Okay.
If that's.
Yes, of course,
We're
please,
right here.
please, state your name.
I am Jacob Valentine, 70 Juniper Lane. So I recently left my job at Connecticut DOT. I was working at the traffic signal lab for 17 years. So I know a lot about the signal. About 2 years ago, I started the process in DOT to get the left turn arrow on that signal. However, from the inside, it's hard to get anything done because it's like I'm giving other units work. So I was hoping that, I mean, I had a lot of the work done already. I have a plan, a signal plan with the proposed design and everything already made up. I think that while it is a state signal, the local traffic authority does have a lot of say, more say than I probably did in my position there. So, so I've got some handouts for you,
Shouldn't point at
basically.
people.
And,
Todd's the guy.
Yeah, Todd is the guy, but there was some conversation, and I don't know if you knew this, but when I had conversation, and correct me if I'm wrong, there is some type of signal up above that almost like counts cars, and that's what determines when that arrow comes on. So if it's heavy, it's gonna be longer or shorter. So is that concept accurate?
essentially, yes. But, so right now, there's a camera system running the intersection.
Right,
There's one camera that's seeing 360 degrees,
Yeah.
can see every approach. That approach with the left turn lane doesn't have a zone there to activate a left turn, because there is no left turn arrow there.
Mhm.
The signal was originally designed with that left turn lane.
okay, put me on the road.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
coming past Comfort Inn,
Mhm. Your first signal
yes,
is the off-ramp coming south.
yes,
Your next signal is the on-ramp going north. That's the one we're talking about.
correct.
So
So
the
that's
on-ramp
the
going
arrow that
north-
we're talking about. Yeah.
During school drop-off and pickup, there's parents coming into the school and parents leaving the school, and they're trying to get on the highway, and there's a ton of traffic still arriving at the school, and they can't make the left turn
Okay.
because they have to go under a circular green indication instead of having the arrow. The signal was designed with vehicle detection in the road from the beginning when it was first installed.
Okay,
It just never did anything. It was never, I don't know why that was the
so
case.
is it just not operational or not operating correctly?
No, they would have to change the signal in the air. So the signal in the air is 3 sections, it's green, yellow, red balls. They would have to do a 5-section head, which is green, yellow, red balls, and green arrow, yellow arrow. So you're talking about adding a little bit of weight and wind load to the structure, so they would have to do a structural analysis because it's over 15 years old or whatever the required date is. And this is the problem. So in order, it's not just a simple, yeah, we can add a green arrow. There's like 4 different units involved. There's engineering has to look at it, structure has to look at it, maintenance has to agree to it, and the signal lab has to do the work. So it's not like something that can happen tomorrow, but I think there's enough.
I'd have to deal with traffic, I'd have to deal with Rick Chapman, I don't know if Rick.
I'm sorry?
You know Rick Chapman? That's who I would have to deal with, District 2 traffic.
Yes.
I can talk to him
Okay,
and see what he says. I know that they're doing a lot of upgrades of lights, this light, National Street, Bethel Road, and 201 are all getting upgraded this year.
yeah, because I signed off on those.
So he may be able to tell me that next year or the year after, that one's getting upgraded, and that's the time to incorporate it when they're doing it, because you're gonna have a lot of control changes too in that box, I'm assuming.
There's not a lot of
You're gonna
work.
have extra signalization that's gonna have to go into the control panel.
The other thing
It's
is,
not a ton of work in the cabinet,
I've had
but
a couple accidents there, I'm gonna follow up with Lou tonight, because we have a meeting tonight, but I'll see if we got that data.
Yeah.
And I'll let Todd know what the data is, that might
I
help.
can get it from the Yukon.
Yeah,
Sometimes there's almost no way to go left through that light without getting in the middle of the intersection and waiting for it to turn red and then turning right before the cross traffic goes.
Right.
So, Jake, in your experience, I mean, and once you guys figure that out, Todd, and you reach out to whoever you deal with DOT, does it make sense for us to write a formal letter to request that change? Would that make any difference? Is that, or is just Todd reaching out through that? Is that probably the fastest way to get them at least looking
Well,
at it?
let's start with that.
Yeah.
Let's start with one step at a time.
If he wants a letter, I can write him a letter as
Yeah.
LTA and just put the request in.
Yeah, whatever we can do to, it just seems like a kind of a common sense change.
yeah, there is another angle you could possibly, if you wanted to add, if you wanted, say, the fire preemption to give you just a green one direction, that would also give you that option too. So right now, when a fire truck comes through, you get a green on the main line both directions. If you wanted the fire trucks to be able to go left and get on the highway really easy, that could be another angle, because that would afford them that.
But we've had this conversation.
Right now, we just took preemption out of the lights because they don't even put them in the trucks anymore.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
didn't
Yeah.
order truck with preemption
And the
lights.
problem is, if we put the preemption in the new cabinets, we're responsible for all the maintenance for
Right.
preemption. So if they don't have it in the trucks and they're not using it, I told them to take it out. I got both chiefs to say they're not using it, so.
They did.
Yeah.
Both chiefs said
I guess
no.
that's not the angle then.
No.
Yeah, but, no, and really, that would make really good sense.
But I could give you a markup plan if you wanted to attach that to your letter.
Yeah, that's
It would be one thing that he didn't have to do, when he got, and it would be able to visualize it a lot easier, what we're talking about and all that, so.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, any other conversation on that? Discussion?
On the traffic light,
Yeah,
I don't believe so, I think.
okay.
Enough on that. The next item would be the Main Street, National Street traffic visibility concerns.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mr. Barney had something to say about that at our meeting, didn't you, Jim?
Which is that,
About
the signs being.
The Ashland
signs being
Street.
behind it, that you can't see them if you're up to the line.
You can't see the lights?
Can't see the sign.
You can't see the sign that says, turn right, turn right, and no turn on the right, and no whatever it says up there now.
From Ashland Street to Main Street.
Ashland Street.
I know from Tracy you can see it, no problem.
Yes, I'm talking about from going north on Main Street to Ashland Street. The one coming south seemed to be okay.
No turn on red on Main Street.
Yeah, if you drive up too close, it's above your windshield, and you can't see it.
We'll check the height. It's gotta be a certain height for pedestrian traffic, so. I will have the guys measure.
This is the one that's hanging in the middle of the.
Oh, it's hanging off the light.
Hanging off the lights, yeah, it's way above any pedestrian.
It's the same way at the end of Pleasant View. You had asked about that one too,
Yeah.
about not one being there, but there was one there. So just, Todd, if you could research it, please.
Rick, I'll ask him about that.
Yep, absolutely.
And the last item was the CERT team program. They wanted to revisit that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Mr. Wasson, who's driving that report, isn't here. But we'd like to open up that discussion. Maybe we can table it for the next meeting, that portion of this letter.
Okay,
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it in the next meeting.
okay.
And I'll make sure that the people that were pushing for this will be here and talk.
Yeah, can you, because one thing, because I talked to Dawn about it, because it had been kind of mentioned, and I liked what she presented to me, but I was wondering if when they discuss it, or when you bring it in, can they give us some, are there local, I know part of the presentation said there are local municipalities that utilize that. I know like Norwich has one, and there's some different places, but if we could maybe, have some point of reference on how it's applied specifically, that would be helpful as well.
I know in the past administration, there was several meetings on trying to establish a CERT team. It didn't go very far, and I think that there were a number of factors in that. But I think, it's definitely worth listening to the conversation, having the conversation. So if you can get them here for the next meeting,
Yep, I will.
we can put them on the agenda. I did, when Dawn sent this letter, we did email her back, and I said, we will put you on the next Board of Selectmen
And I had
agenda.
talked to her too, last
Yeah.
week we had the meeting, that this was gonna be on next week's agenda, so.
All right,
Okay,
must have
we
forgotten.
all right,
table it for next one. I'll motion to table this until the next regular meeting.
okay. We have a motion
Second?
and a second to table this item until the next Board of Selectmen meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Part of that discussion was, the prior board thought that we had exposure to liability, and I think that's definitely proven to be wrong. If we're
Okay.
doing it properly, there's no exposure.
Okay. So, yeah, we'd probably be looking at things like liability, cost, those types of things. So, yeah, I mean, just certainly come in and present it. And if we have to have even like a separate meeting, just a CERT meeting, we can do that too. Okay? Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Item 6D, discussion and possible action on authorizing the first selectman to sign a loan resolution in the amount for a bond issuance of $3,675,000 for the Route 164 water project. Now, Kelly sent you some documentation on that? Explanation? Okay.
So this was part of the 2019 referendum. This is from closing the bond, and it's just administrative.
It's administrative, it's the USDA loan/grant program
Yep.
that was voted on, as Wayne said, in the 2019 referendum for completion of the water line project out on Route 164.
All right. Well, I will motion to authorize the first selectwoman to sign.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve item 6D. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving on. I have a couple of items to motion on, under any other business. I'd like to motion on the street sweeping schedule and also the draft press release for the work that's going to be going on over the 395 bridge for the water and sewer project.
Motion to add on the street sweeping schedule.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to add on to the agenda the street sweeping schedule, which Public Works has put out. And I'm just putting this out there as, we have to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This came through Public Works today, and it's just a courtesy to the people in the borough, and Lori, you are here. So I'm just gonna quickly go down the list so that I want people to be aware that this is gonna be taking place. So on the 28th, May 28th, the streets will be Pleasant View, Ann, Rosinas, Spruce, Oak, Charles, Pulaski, Lincoln, Wedgewood, Day, Victoria, Ashland, Carly, Maple, Elm, Burleson, Clark, Hill, High, Balfour, Wilson, Hawkins, Cathcart, and School Street. On the 29th, the streets will be Palmer, Phillips, Lenox, Faust, Talcott, Belvedere, Brown, Tift, Ash, Central, Columbus, Williams, Bolio, Russell, Parker, Monroe, December, McKenna, Fogarty, Elizabeth, and Blossom. On June 1st, the streets will be Aspenook, Green, Mechanic, Mathewson, Tracy, Sewell, Railroad, Anthony, South Main, KFC, and Rhea. one thing I didn't get from you, Todd, was are there going to be parking issues?
I think Lori's gonna put it on the borough site, ask people to park off street. And I put in the email starting 7:30 to 1:30,
Okay,
so.
7:30 to
hopefully
1:30.
if people go to work, we'll have less and less cars on the street.
okay.
We can certainly put that schedule up on the page as well.
Your Nixon thing.
I could do that, you could do that. Yeah, we'll send it out with a nixle, and it's already been posted on the website, I mean,
Okay.
on the Facebook.
Okay,
Perfect.
all right.
Share that.
The more folks that know, the better.
Mhm.
And what's the other thing?
Okay, the other thing to motion on is the draft press release
Oh, that's right.
for the language on the work that's going to be taking place over the 395 bridge for the water and sewer project.
I'll make a motion to bring into any other business to put out the press release about the 164 infrastructure for the water portion.
Second.
The overpass at 395.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I just wanted to bring awareness to the community that it is hopeful that the work over the 395 bridge, and it's actually gonna be under the 395 bridge, to run the water across is going to be, we're looking, at least the contractor believes it's going to begin. The start date is Monday, June 1st. The work days will be Monday through Friday. The working time is going to be 8:30 to 4 p.m. The work zone will be Route 164 between William Drive and Oak Tree Village entrance. Construction activities are going to be roadway trenching to install water main along Route 164. The impact is going to be traffic disruptions between 8:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Roadway pavement patching and steel road plates. So this is, I think, what they're looking for our approval, or to say that, yes, this is sufficient. And then I guess we're gonna have to post it every place we can post it, if we agree that this is sufficient.
I think so. It's clear.
I agree, just wanting people to know what was going on, so they won't be surprised when they
Right.
can find
Yeah, that's
destruction.
Right.
totally makes sense. Do we need to take action on that?
Well, I would make a motion to approve this, the press release language.
Then I'll motion to approve the press release language as written.
I'll second it.
Here we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, is there any other business that may come before the board?
I have one.
I have none.
Okay, then we're gonna move on to number 8, public forum. Yes, sir.
Debut 59 Leah. I was a little surprised, you had the May 13th, 2:30 PM meeting regarding playground moving into Veterans Memorial Park. And I asked permission to speak during the meeting, and I was granted that. However, my comments were not put in to the final minutes. And it makes me a little leery. Are we trying to hide this from the veterans? Because I'm sure if more veterans knew about this happening to the Memorial Park, they would be speaking out too.
Do we know why it wasn't in there, Lisa?
When he was addressed to, if he had something to say, since he showed up, it was by Matt, you were out of the office, and technically, the audience should not have been addressed, so that's
Yeah,
why it was.
I think because it was a special meeting, there's technically no public comment, I guess maybe that would be why, but I can tell you that there was follow-up where I was like, I didn't even think about that, I'm glad Dave said that, because I agree with you. So certainly on our part was not an attempt to remove that from the conversation.
Well, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure, because before I turn loose all the veterans in the community on you.
No, that's a good point.
No, but I think if you have a statement to make about it, because it is public forum, if you have something that you'd like to say that will be in the meeting minutes, do you have anything you'd like to say about that?
I would like for the town to have more of a say in what goes into Veterans Memorial Park, than just 4 people deciding to throw in another playground.
Mhm.
Since these kids, and I say the youth group, they have 4 baseball diamonds over there. They have another playground. They have the skate park, which if it's demolished, fine, that's the decision that's made. But that would be a good place to put the new playground or replace the old playground with the new. We shouldn't be taking away a beautiful scenic spot that's quiet like Veterans Memorial Park.
Okay. And as you heard earlier in the meeting, we do have a walkthrough tomorrow to talk about the planning, the recommendations or suggestions. So we're going to take all of this into consideration. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other public forum? Yes.
Oh, last one, Keenan Street. I'm just going back to the roadway we talked about on 395 turning north. This was just on social media a week ago. 40 to 50 people in the town have commented that they want this done. So if you need any help with the state, I mean, they're willing to go to the state themselves. I don't think people realize that you're the contact, the road person to contact the state. They were gonna go up and do it themselves.
Yeah, they can contact the state, but technically, I don't think it goes anywhere. We have a gentleman that keeps calling about South Main Street. When we repaved South Main Street, the state loop got broken. And they told us, don't worry about it because we're replacing the light. So they don't get as long of a priority coming out of South Main Street. Sometimes this light will cycle 2 or 3 times before they get it green. And I told DOT, and they said, well, we're gonna upgrade the light, we're not gonna worry about it. It's not worth cutting a loop in there and redo it at this point.
Yeah.
And I told the gentleman, but he still keeps calling, and he's getting the same answer. What I will do is I'll reach out to traffic, I'll see how receptive their return call is and what they say. In the past, we've had problems and we've had to go above them, which usually is a state rep, state senator. Talk to the commissioner, and sometimes you get a different answer. Sometimes you have to go there.
I mean, we can write a letter to Brian if we have to.
Yeah. I start where I'm supposed to, and if I don't get what we think we want or what we need, then I progress up more.
Yeah, a lot of people are concerned about the real fatality in that spot. Because a lot of people, what you do, as soon as that light turns red, they take a quick left.
Yeah.
And you know how those people come around.
Or you gotta gun it right when it turns green.
So I just wanted to make that comment. And the second comment I have is, I know you're talking about stopping the bridge thing at 4 o'clock. Keep in mind that traffic coming into Jewett City at 4 o'clock, is pretty friggin' heavy. Which means you're either gonna get off the bridge, you go on 164, or they're all gonna go down through town.
Well, I know that a lot of the hours that they have determined are based on what DOT was willing to permit. DOT determines the permits. So it wasn't a choice of the contractor. It's what DOT is telling them. And I think it was either that or it was gonna be nighttime work or something.
164 does their time based on traffic counts. When they go to 395, if they try to go during the day, they only have a 4-hour window, because morning traffic, afternoon traffic, if they go at night, they can have 9.5 hours of work time. So that's.
Yeah,
gonna
the
be
permitting
decision.
process was fun. So. Any other public forum?
Go ahead.
Carol Canova, 52 Dino Lane. So back to that light on 138. Take down the no turn on, or right turn on red. Oh, goodness. Sorry. That sign, that right turn on red is gonna get somebody killed. Because they race off the highway and cut over into the other lane.
Okay.
It should not be the right turn on red.
Well, that was also years ago.
Because it never was like that.
It was requested, DOT denied it, and that went through the state rep when Steve Miketel was state rep. And they went up through the commissioner, and that right turn on red got put there because people were sick of 2 lines going straight and getting stuck in the traffic.
I was very happy with that.
So that was changed on request too, years ago.
Yeah. I guess different people want different things, but,
Oh, I cut them off, I don't care.
yes, sir.
Going back to 6D, new business.
Mr. Barney?
Address.
Okay, 735 Oakville Road,
Thank you.
in Griswold. If I understood this correctly, when you talked earlier, the $3,675,000 was the original appropriation that was approved by the town in 2019, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and at that time, that included the sewer down 201 to the bridge, basically. That has not been done.
Yep.
And from all observations, it looks like 201 is gonna be repaid, and that sewer has not been put in.
Yep.
Second part of that question is, how much money have we spent in total on 161? Total,
64.
on 164? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yes,
I can get those numbers for you from Kelly,
okay.
okay? Because you have to understand, this process has gone through several administrations.
Yep.
The costs have gone up. 201 was just not possible after a while. Then it was stalled for a while. Think about it. 2019, and we are now halfway into 2026, and we're just getting this done. So it kind of dragged, and then every administration had a different viewpoint as to how things were going to get done, when they were going to get done, and if they were going to get done. Well, guess what? It got done.
There was this, and I'm not totally clear on all of this.
Yeah.
There was a SIF grant that Heritage River Village had the town put in,
Correct.
okay? Where is that at this point? What has been spent? I'm looking for all the details. I'll talk to
Nope.
Kelly about it.
I can tell you that the SIF grant, I could use some language, but I'm not going to. When that SIF grant was written by a former administration,
Yep.
it was approved. That money was to be used for the water tower, okay? We got a call from Hartford one day saying that the SIF grant money had been pulled from the town of Griswold because Heritage River Village backed out. All right? So we had meetings with all the reps, all the state, Mr. Puglisi, all the head people up in Hartford. They even came down here, and we told them, you know, if you look at the way that the grant is written, and I went back and looked at it, it was primarily for Heritage River Village, but it also makes mention in there for the extension of Route 164. But because all of those wonderful things that were in the Heritage River project that the SIF money is modeled around, for example, housing. There was a lot of housing there. There was some commercial. There was
Community-based stuff.
all community-based stuff, the pool, because all of those elements of a SIF grant went away. They took the grant away. So what Hartford has done, because we've been fighting it, because we need that money for the water tower. So they have come up with a menu, and Heather Summers sat in on that meeting, and all the top people in Hartford. They have come up with a menu of items. It's like an à la carte. If you provide this many units of housing, you will get back this amount, this chunk of money from the SIF grant. If you provide a certain amount of warehousing, you will get this amount back. So that's where we are right now, is figuring what's coming and what we absolutely have to put there to get the SIF money back.
So what was the SIF grant amount for?
I'm not gonna, off the top of my head, I'm not gonna say, because I do not want to misquote.
Okay.
But again, here we go, because now everything is increasing in price. It's another delay, frustrating. It never should have happened this way, but now we have to try and fix it, and that's what we're working on.
So the majority of the money is going into a water tower at this particular point from the.
The SIF money?
Yes.
That was the intention.
I'm sorry?
That was the intention.
Looks like, okay. Because we've been fooling around down there for, what, 8-10 years now with Heritage River
Yeah.
Village or something like that.
Yeah.
And we have spent a tremendous amount of taxpayers' money down there, and we have absolutely zero to show for it. It may be time to just pull the plug on that whole mess, give the state back their SIF grant.
But any future development that comes in, we are going to need a water tower.
Well, I've only been down here for, what, 27 years, I guess, and I heard we were working on development 10 or 20 years before I got here. So we don't.
Well, let me just say this. Have we had executive sessions on potential?
Yep.
Yes, we have. So we're working feverishly on that too. So I'm just, all I'm gonna say is stay tuned.
And I'm gonna say the SIF grant, we haven't gotten a dime from yet.
Yeah.
But we're working on getting some of that, recouping some of that money.
What?
And that money doesn't come from the taxpayers, right? So it's a grant. So.
It still comes from the taxpayers. There's no money that doesn't come from the taxpayers.
Well, true.
Well, I can assure you, Jim, that we have done all that we can to correct the problems that have arisen. And I feel, I'm not gonna say I feel 100% confident, but I sure as heck feel a heck of a lot better than I did 9 months ago. Much better.
Okay. We're heard for quite a number of months going on now, and I don't know how many. There's something coming, something coming, something coming. Why isn't that out there for public notice at this point?
Because of non-disclosure. And that's the one thing that we cannot make people understand, is that when somebody comes in, a developer comes in, and until they have their plans firm, that they know that everything is going to be coming through planning and zoning, if they express, and that's why we went into executive session, if they have expressed to us that this is not for public information yet, we have to honor that.
But if they need this, that, or the other thing, we don't have to supply it for them. That can be supplied by the developer themselves, and take that off the roll of the taxpayers.
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
We're spending whatever amount of money we're looking for from the SIF grant to put up a water tower.
Yeah?
We don't even know what's going on as far as what the need of the water tower is, et cetera, okay? And I'm just questioning what we're doing.
The water tower is really, and I think you know, this is for fire suppression. And I will tell you this, and I think that this is a good thing for the community to know, because it's coming. The state has asked all councils of government across the state to meet with the towns that they represent. And there is a big housing push coming right now. And you know this, and I've talked to you about it too. Housing is coming, whether we want it or not. So where it goes, we don't know. There are like 5 phases of the meetings that we're having with the Council of Governments. We've had 2 phases so far. I have asked one of the women from Council of Governments to come in, because I want everybody to understand what I'm hearing. Housing is coming, period, end of story. So she would like to come in, and it's gonna be probably to planning and zoning, and to anybody who wants to hear, to tell the community exactly what's going on with the state. It's a mandate. We can say no, but they can come in under 830-G. We have no say. So we're either gonna do it the right way and the way that we want it to be, rather than somebody else telling us how it's going to be.
And how many units of housing are we required to put up to meet the 831G, is it?
I don't know. And it depends, because they're doing evaluations on every town, every municipality. to see what the open space is, what available land is. It's quite a study going on. And that's gonna determine the recommended number of housing units.
And I'm not trying to give you a hard time.
You're not,
No, I think I am.
you're not.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom.
More land they see, Jim, the more land they want.
Well, yeah, and, you know, my,
So-
my understanding is that there's a lot of affordable housing in the borough that is not even considered as being affordable housing, in counting this. So they're trying to jam more down our throat than we really should have to be accepting. Now, we've got towns out there that have almost zero affordable housing. Are they gonna be meeting the requirements?
They're gonna have to. It's
They're
all,
gonna have
it's all based on percentages, Jim, and I forgot exactly what ours was, but I think we were like 4 or 5% below what they expected us
Yeah.
to be, or something like
So-
that.
10%, we're about 7.5.
Yeah.
So I think to give any concrete answer tonight, you really can't. This is going to be an ongoing thing for quite some time. And it's actually gonna go on probably into the next, administration. That's how long this is going to take. But
Yep.
there is a possibility that, some of what may be coming on Route 164 is in fact going to include housing, which would be a wonderful thing, because that's one of our SIF à la carte numbers, all right? And it would also make the state very happy, so.
But from what those of us that don't know what fully is going on, what we hear is we got a lot of housing coming, and we're not aware of any commercial to offset the costs and the school expenses that come with housing.
Executive session.
Maybe we need to take and get more vocal about it then.
Pitchforks and torches, Jim.
As far as what, more vocal about what?
Yeah, what do you wanna see,
All of the
Jim?
executive sessions that go on, and that there's 3 or 4 people making decisions, and there's hundreds of people, thousands of people out here that have got to pay the bills.
No decisions are made.
No decisions are made. They will have to come before planning and zoning. That's where decisions are going to be made.
I'll try and get some numbers from Kelly later this week.
Okay, all right, yes, Rich.
Rich Canover, 52 Dino Lane. With the executive sessions that have been taking place, I'm just curious, I've asked before, and I'll ask again, how come EDC is not in the loop on that?
Because we changed the structure of how all of that works. That's not the function or the relationship between EDC and the board any longer. EDC is definitely gonna be a key part of it once we have something that we can present publicly. Once somebody comes in and they are at planning and zoning and they're looking for permits, they're gonna need your support, your team's support, to be able to get through their next phases and get that built. But until they are ready to go and make a public presentation, there's nothing that we can share. And I thought, and I'm speaking on it because I put the original draft together and we all obviously went over it, but as much as we've kind of gone over the new layout of the way that kind of looks, if we weren't clear about that at all, like that's on us, I guess. I can clarify that, but.
And let me tell you how this started, because I'm gonna put it out there now so that everybody can hear this. How this all came about to change, that all development would come through the board first. Because there was, I don't want to say a developer, but a potential. And there was conversation, member of the EDC, it got out there, didn't go so well, okay? Because somebody spoke when they shouldn't have said anything. Hold on. It was at that point that I started going around to the other towns, to the other selectmen, the other boards, to say, when you have development come into your town, or developer potential, where do they begin? And every single one of those towns said, it starts right here with the board. Then, once it goes through planning and zoning, that's when there's other involvement. But it was that one leak that I said, we're never gonna get anything, because people were loose-lipped.
And I heard that accusation, I was told that's what happened by the former chairman of the EDC, and I understand that. But if there were no NDAs or anything in place at that point, shame on whoever talked. But everything that's been discussed since that time frame has always focused around NDAs or anything else that, you want to sign or agree to go into executive session with things. I think just leaving the committee out of that picture just isn't right.
Okay. Well, I respect that. But when we put it out there for the non-disclosure agreements, and I think one may have been brought to an EDC meeting,
It was.
and there were people who just weren't willing to sign it at that, okay. So at that point, everything comes through the board, and it will filter down
Executive session
appropriately.
accomplishes the same thing because you guys go into executive session. Do you sign NDAs when you do that, or you just go into executive session?
We go into executive session, and we know that anything in executive session, and it was discussed with whoever was in on that meeting, it was clearly
I
understood.
say, no, I was just gonna say, nobody else can be trusted to be at that level, I don't know.
I just don't think it's efficient that way. There are more people that you have in the room before anything's real. It's not real, right? It's not real until they're standing at planning and zoning, basically.
Right.
So until it's real, all it is speculative, and the more people that are a part of that part of it, the more opportunity there is for it to get out there. And to be honest with you, if a developer asks me to sign an NDA to have one of those meetings, I'm signing it because we want development, right? Like, that's just the way it's gonna go. And I think that's the thing. And by having the full board in those meetings, it's not as if it's just Tina there, right? Like,
No,
Wayne is able to weigh in, I'm able to weigh in and have conversations with whoever's coming, and then, like, it feels, I get where you're saying, like, I understand where you're coming from, your point is valid, and I don't wanna make it seem like I don't understand what you're saying. It's just, we're going to need EDC to do a lot of helping these companies as they come through, but it has to be real before we can do anything with it. And that's it, that's the way it's structured.
sometimes they come in and they want some general information. And I think that's what happened before, and then it's out there, oh gosh, Captain Kangaroo's cereal company is coming. And it was just a general inquiry. So the inquiries come into us, and then when it becomes reality, it's gonna start getting filtered out, so. Yes, Mary Beth.
Mary Beth Neal, 11 Pequot Trail. This is in reference to the construction that's starting on June 1st.
Yes.
Just to alert the superintendent, so you can alert the bus garage, because there's buses coming through, there's preschool parents lining up to drop off. It's like chaos, and then it's chaos building again in the afternoon with the buses, because they're running different schedules for buses and athletic buses coming in, so I just said, perhaps push it to the bus garage so that they know.
That's a very good point,
There will
thank
be
you.
delays, and parents are there for work, they're trying to get to work, so drop kids off, and there will be
And maybe
delays.
even, the superintendent might even be able to shoot out
Yes,
something.
he can shoot it out through his messenger and possibly put it up on the board. It's just my concern, because I know, dropping off and picking up.
Yeah.
Chaos anyways, never mind construction going on.
Okay, good point, thank you. Any other public forum? Any other public forum? If not, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
A second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn at 6:53. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
I have to make a break for it.
Goodbye.